Okay, these are the volunteers. Hi, hi. Lunch before the big race.
Yeah.
The professional photographer is there. 1, 2, 3, smile.
I don't want it to be a run because there are too many runs in Singapore, there are too many hackathons. So I wanted it to be about travel, right? And so that's how the idea came about. That since travel is about, I said to you before, travel is about discovering local stories. That's what travel is have to do. And then people in the travel industry should also know about heritage. So that's how the idea came about. It's just a fun way.
Smile.
Jared's running away now. Go everywhere.
Say something.
1, 2, 3. Go everywhere.
Not yet.
Not yet. We haven't think yet.
Oh, you haven't think yet? Okay. No team shout. Hi. Say hi. You're gonna be on YouTube soon. So who's gonna win?
Yeah, we will win.
You'll win?
Yeah.
Wow, we have a competitive
We
set
are
here.
the German Shepherds.
You're the German Shepherds?
Of course.
Okay. NHB?
Yes, Balestier food truck.
There you go. Free brochures.
Yeah, we'll be here soon when you come back. So, yeah. Yes, we do. We also have a mobile app for the Balestier Trail. You can help us.
Who's gonna win?
What is your
Louisa's gonna win.
What is your team called? Smiling face. Oh, good.
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay, who's gonna win?
Oh, we are going to see.
Yeah, that's better. Okay. Team cheer.
1, 2, smile. Yeah, one more. Okay, 1, 2.
So we just went to our citizens and
Planning.
sponsor，就是叫他们，其实每个 registration 是6人30块钱，不管是team还是对，就是每一个人就30块钱，所以他们公司就马上当成一个就因为半天接近4嘛，就12点到4点，就是当做半天放他们来这边去体验一下，然后同时就是做30。
Thank you very much for being part of this very first heritage race. So, may I now please invite our General Manager, Tony Cousins, General Manager of Ramada and Days Hotel Singapore at Zhongshan Park, to welcome the crowd.
Thank you, Ray. And if you don't know Ray, Ray's our Marco manager, and we used to work together at Marina Mandarin. So we've known each other for a few years. So these kind of events are very exciting for us to be part of the community. We've arranged a fantastic day for you. Perfect weather, nice and dry and hot. So with a little bit of wind. So you're all ready for the first heritage race in Singapore?
Yes! Didn't really hear that.
Are you ready for my 2-hour presentation on Ramada and Days, PowerPoint presentation? The answer should be no. I'll try and keep it a short speech, and then you'll have something a bit shorter and more invigorating by Yo Soo-hoon. Soo-hoon and I know each other, professionally, since 1987 when I first came to Singapore at Le Méridien, at that time Le Méridien, which is now the Concorde, of course, when she was managing editor of TTG, and made that publication famous in Asia Pacific. We've had a lot of fun along the way. So ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to the Ramada Days Singapore at Zhongshan Park and to the inaugural Heritage Race. I'm sure many of you, when you first learned about the briefing venue, is at the Ramada Singapore at Zhongshan Park, with some exceptions of course. We have a lot of our business partners here in the field and friends, but you must have been pretty lost about where our whereabouts is. Of course, go there and Google helps a lot. In fact, I'll dare wager that, not maybe 90%, Ray said 90%, but the majority of you in this room have not been to the Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall Museum, or know that Zhongshan Park is a tribute to Sun Yat-sen. Did you all know? No. Well, you do now. And of course, you will know a lot more about the heritage in this area and the Balestier Trail once you finished the race. So that has been the same question we faced since we opened up the Days Hotel in December of 2012. This hotel, the Ramada, in May 2013. So over time, this has improved, and over time, we've learned that Balestier is such a quaint area that not many people know about it in terms of the heritage, the great food spots, and now, of course, this new Zhongshan development. The Zhongshan development came about by Hiap Ho, who is our owner, for this 2-acre development. So the 2-acre development includes the 2 hotels, the office building, the Zhongshan shopping center, and the park. Yes, we own the park and maintain the park, but of course it's a public park. So the Hiap Ho group went into a management agreement with Wyndham Hotel Group, and the rest is history, managing these 2 lovely hotels. So that's why we persuaded our good friend Soo-hoon to run her very first heritage race here in Balestier. And by all first counts, it looks like we've got great participation, a lot of enthusiasm, and it's going to be very successful. Thanks a million, Soo-hoon. Without her, a lot of things wouldn't get done. She's very inspirational, and you know, she's a great lady. Later, as you race through the streets, you too will experience the charm of this area. So move over, Tiong Bahru. I would like to thank our partners, Infor, Moulmein Constituency Office, National Heritage Board, Singapore Tourism Board, our owners, Hiap Ho Properties, for contributing, and for our good friends at Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall for their support. Our corporate and individual donors for contributing to our fundraising for Lee Amoy Old Age Home, individual volunteers from Temasek Polytechnic University of Hospitality and Tourism, and our veteran guides from the Society of Tourist Guides Singapore. And last but not least, a big thank you to all of you participants for being part of this first leg of this very unique event. I wish you all a great race, whether you're in the first 3 to get the cash prizes, or you just have fun out there learning and having a fun Thursday afternoon. Enjoy the sights, and may the best team win. And now let me invite Soo-hoon up to the stage.
Thanks Tony for the kind words. And you know, I wish whenever people introduce me, I wish they wouldn't say I knew Soo-hoon back then, because then you're really giving away my age. And well, anyway, I am therefore supporting myself because I am part of Singapore's heritage, right? We all get there someday. We are all our own heritage. But really, thank you, Tony, and to Ray, for really being the first, I think, to take up this challenge of organizing this first heritage race. Now, a lot of people have asked me, right, how did this idea come about? I had to think long and hard, right? But really, it all came about because Abacus, because they always think that I don't have enough to do with my time. They don't know really what I do for a living, So Abacus just challenged me, I think it was about 2 years ago. And because we have been involved with Abacus over the years, raising funds through WIT, Web and Travel, so Abacus said to me, Siu Hun, can you come up with an idea for a travel industry-led charity event that the entire travel industry can get behind? Small challenge, right? So I had a few sleepless nights. And the first idea that came out was, we didn't want to do a run because everybody does runs, right? We didn't want to do a walk because that's boring. So then the first idea that came about was, hey, why don't we see if we can tow an A380? Stunned silence, right? So I approached a couple of airlines, would you believe? And they said, no, you cannot borrow our A380. So therefore that idea was, and so then I brainstormed further with a couple of people from the industry, and as with all ideas, they change, they take shape until today. And the idea of the Heritage Race came about because I thought, well, travel is about local stories. Travel is about travelers wanting to discover local places and connecting local people. And travel is about the travel industry themselves learning about the places that they promote. Because some people who live in Singapore probably haven't even heard about or know about their own heritage. And we wanted an idea that would force people, in a way, to visit the heritage spots and then learn about the places along the way. So it becomes a fun but also a discovery event, which is what travel is about, fun and discovery. Plus, we wanted an idea that could travel. So you see, the concept of the Heritage Race is that it can be held anywhere. It can be held in Balestier, it can be held in Tiong Bahru, it can be held in Luang Prabang, Laos, or it can be held in Penang. So today I also want to acknowledge the presence of Ui Gyat Ling, who's a dear friend of mine, who's the CEO of Penang Global Tourism, and she's here to kind of observe how the race is run and see if maybe the idea can be replicated in Penang. So this is an idea that can travel. So that's why we're excited about it. I want to thank everyone who was involved in the germination of the idea, okay? And mostly, I want to thank Ray and Tony, because it takes courage to be the first to put up your hand, and it takes commitment to see it through the end. And in 2 hours, we will be at the end point. So we've kind of made it up as we went along, Ray and I. I think we learned a lot of stuff that, there are things that you cannot do, and there are things that, well, you should do anyway to get things done. So I want to thank our sponsors, Abacus. Team Abacus, where are you? Are you going to win? We have Infor here, John and his team. Thank you so much for supporting our cause. John and Manish and Jay. I want to thank Trust International, who donated cash as well. And all the travel companies who have sent teams to the race, okay? Are we ready to win? Yes. Nisa Travel, are you ready to win? Yes. Are you ready to beat the online guys? We are the online guys. Skyscanner, are you going to beat TripAdvisor? Yes. Booking.com, you're the giants. Are you going to win this? Yes. Woohoo! Okay, we also have non-travel people. We don't want to let them feel left out. We have the Doggy Squad from Tanjung Ru, my team from the neighborhood. Okay, and we have our youngest contestant, 7 years old. Can you stand up, please? Please welcome her to the race, our youngest participant. So I want to thank Habas Worldwide, in particular, I think, for providing the pro bono marketing services. I think Suraj and Fahan, you guys have done a fantastic job in coming up with the creative, the collateral, and finding out about the heritage race. Thank you so much. Working weekends and all that. Thank you so much. We also wanted the race to have, a purpose beyond for us to have fun and learn about travel and heritage. We wanted it to benefit our own heritage, which is the elderly at risk. So wherever the heritage race goes, it will always support the elderly. So all the proceeds after cost will go towards the Lee Amui Old Age Home. So thank you for your generous donations, all of you, and I wish you a fun race, and I'm going to hand you back to Ray.
And not forgetting, I have my colleagues from Ramada and Days who are taking part in the race as well. Yeah, you! This will make the best team win. So before I begin with the brief, can I just draw your attention back to the team over there behind, the National Heritage Board? So they are here today to launch their new app. It's a free app that's available on Android and iOS phones. It's called Singapore Heritage Trails. So maybe you want to download right now the Heritage Trail app for Balestier. You might find some clues there, I don't know. So basically the app, you have comparison of past and present. You can see how Balestier was like many years ago, and then Balestier as it is today. And then you will also see trails, food trails for example. And also there's a game as well. So if you head over to the booth later on, maybe after the race, because you need to rush to be the first to get up. So after the race, you can go over there, download the app and get a free gift. Okay? Boss, speak to the station marshals. They are all dressed in black polo tees. They will be looking out for you as well, as long as you have a lanyard with the seeker badge. Then they charge the lowest fee in Singapore. And some of the patients, they actually do not pay anymore because the families just abandon them. The race has begun.
Does he know he's in our
I think we'll move up. Less than 1 hour we finish already. Yeah. Because you're already doing about 3 already, right?
Yeah. Here all together.
Ah, wonderful. Do you know where you are?
Malay Studio.
What is Malay Studio is all about?
Films. The first making the film.
Okay, they used to have a production film over there. The production is done over there.
Okay.
And then, the processing of the film is all done inside here. Okay. No, it's no more there. They have shifted out. This is a very old place. Inside there, if you can spend some time, there are some of the artifacts and other things. Now, yes, you can go in. Then, one particular Malay artist that stand out is P. Ramli. Now, he started as a singer, then he became an actor, he's a director, screenplayer, producer, right? Everything all into one. So, one of those, he died in 1973. Yeah. Okay?
Thank you.
Right, bye.
Thanks. Thank you. Thanks.
But we've already got Balestier point. Yeah, okay. Careful, don't risk our life.
No, not people. This is one home. The people are further down. So we cross over.
Obligation.
First.
Hello. The rest also quite fast, huh? But they are running now. That means the stamina is good. You need to take a photo, huh?
Oh, stamp. I thought you said stand.
Stand. Okay, come, let's go. The rest. Come. Take photo. Come. Take photo. Yeah. This side. Stand here.
We can go back already, we finish already. Booking.com. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Finish.
Can you pose and can you hashtag? Please help.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Some don't answer, right?
Heritage, Balestier Heritage Race, Balestier Heritage.
I'll try to write your name outside. Easier for them to see.
Welcome back. Completed.
See? I'm complete.
But I'm hot.
Huh?
I'm hot.
Write your name. I don't know belongs to who.
Okay.
Write the name.
Welcome back.
Make sure you have
Welcome
your name
back.
and your passport.
Write down.
Write your name outside the passport.
No, you haven't right.
We don't know who they are.
We've got lots of suggestions, as to how to improve the race, how to make it better and all that. I think we made it too easy. What do you think, guys? Yeah. You think we made it too easy? Okay, so you know what? We're going to go into the official prize giving later. But for now, I just want to recognize, just some fun awards here, right? So I want to recognize the most international team. So if you guys can stand up and then say how many nationalities from each team, we'll give you a voucher from Ramada Hotels. Okay, so who has the most international team? Come on. Okay, can you say which countries?
Singapore, India, China.
Singapore, India, China, that's 3. Singapore, Indonesia, India, Japan, Ireland. Wow! Okay, we have one more team to compete.
Japanese, Korean, Singaporean, Italian, Vietnamese, Chinese.
Wow! That's a pretty exotic combination, right? 6. 6. How many? 6.
Singapore, Taiwanese, Japanese, Indian, French, Lebanese.
Okay, fine. I'm going to give you the award here. Yay! Exotic team. Okay. Right. Then we also have an award for the youngest racer, right? We have to recognize her, and apparently she really. So we're going to ask her. She's really thirsty. She's having a glass of water. Hello. What's your name? Yan. Okay, did you enjoy the race? What did you learn?
Stuff I haven't learned before.
And that's a lot, isn't it? Well, let's recognize her. Yan, you know. Okay, and then we also have apparently, I just asked around, very randomly, okay, there's no algorithm to this award. But I just asked around and one team nominated their leader because she was a fantastic leader for the team. I want to recognize 16-year-old Louisa. Can you tell us what was your strategy? You plan your route before you land. Okay, and what was the first stop?
The mincemeat noodles. You just went and learned.
Mincemeat noodles. Did you try it? No. Okay, there you go. Your team has nominated you Best Leader. We also have an award where you probably have to work a bit more. Okay, and I'm going to call this the Most Transformed Team. That means when you left here, your knowledge was at 0, and then now your knowledge is at 100, right? So I'm going to ask you guys some questions, all right? And whoever answer will win the Most Transformed Team. Did y'all fill in all the quiz questions? Yes. Okay, why don't you take over? What was the first question that you answered? You forgot already? What was the first thing you learned about the race that made you go, wow? The mistress. Tell me about the mistress.
In Nanyang Memorial Hall,
Okay.
the question was the house was originally built by Chuan Ho, a businessman, for his mistress.
Oh wow, lucky mistress, huh? They get all the luck, right? Okay, I give you the Most Transformed Team Award. Where you go? Okay. Alright, who wants to share with me another piece of trivia that you learned that really sort of made you go, wow, I didn't know that.
Non-pork version of bak kut teh, which is chick kut teh. And my mom makes chick kut teh, actually.
Okay, where do you live so we can all come by?
Penang. I'll move over tomorrow.
There you go.
Thanks,
It's not a chikut there, not a lamb kut there. Okay, but it's a voucher. Okay, now I want to recognize, I think Abacus, you had somebody from Infini, right? Yes. Okay, because you know the idea is to take this race international, right? And so we're going to get the race to Japan, right? Are we going to get the race to Japan? Infini's going to sponsor it? So tell us what you learned about the race. He has to refer to his notes. What was the most interesting for you in this race? Looks like Twinnie's watching. Did you finish the race?
Did you race?
Did you race?
Chicken rice?
Chicken rice, it's okay. That's like a national dish.
Some bread is also.
Red is also good. Okay. Delicious. So if we were to have the race in Tokyo, right? If we were to have the race in Tokyo, where would we have it? Roppongi, lots of bars, and so we call it the Heritage Bar Race or something, right? Fantastic, okay. And who else do you think, where else do you think we should have the race? India. We have such an international team here, right? Who's going to volunteer to have the race in their country? India, okay. Where? Hong Kong. Yeah, Hong Kong has lots of heritage, yeah? Anybody else? Cambodia, okay, Siem Reap. Who else? So we're going to take this race international, yeah? Okay. Penang, of course, you know, when Gyotling, are you here? There you go, Gyotling, what did you learn about Singapore? Do you think Penang heritage is better than Singapore? You want me to be voted right? What? No, we won't. But I think she learned a lot about and she was saying, oh, Penang, we have like 250 heritage spots. So we will have to have a race like every month of the year. Okay, the next one is, I want to recognize, is most social. So hashtag Balestier Heritage Trail, hashtag Heritage Race. I want to recognize Booking.com, Place Box for being the most social. Thank you for all your Instagram. Yeah, I know, amazing, like Instagram, okay. So now we come to the teams, the first three that finished. The official prize ceremony will be later, but I just want to talk to them, okay? So, the third team is Team Victory Ground, Patricia Poon, leader. Wow, so tell us about your strategy. How did you?
I actually stay somewhere around here, but to be very honest, I actually stay between Balestier and Momaine Road, and I've never walked Balestier Road before. Okay, so what I did was, we actually planned ahead, and actually I must say that this is the first time I ever know Balestier well enough. If you ask me where's the temple right now, I can give you a tour over there.
Thank you, congratulations. Okay, and the second team is the Fantastic Five, and we have Tina Tan, okay? And Boon Howard, okay? You don't live around here, do you?
No, I don't live around here, but I grew up, my aunt's place used to be at Kim Kiat Road, so I grew up around here, coming here quite often, and I still frequent this place because of the food, and the towel shop, and the light shops, and everything you saw along the way. Okay. And basically we plan our route not to cross Balestier Road too many times because, you know, the traffic is really horrible. So just cross once at the end and then all the way to the other side and cross again at the temple side.
Okay, so that was your strategy. Okay, thank you, congratulations. Thank you. Okay. And the winning team is, you know, so some of the feedback I got is, you know, you probably need to have age, right? So apparently it's, if you have a heritage race, you should specify that one of your teams need to be 45 years and over. So that's one feedback that we got, right? And then the second feedback we got is that we must make each team at least taste something along the way, so they actually sit down and eat bak kut teh or chikute or chicken rice, you know, hold them back, right? I think this team, they were the fastest, but I really don't know what they learned on the race. So we're going to test their knowledge. But we knew they were going to win, frankly, even before the race started. Because these two young men were so serious. I think they had the map printed out, you know, Google Maps and everything. So the winning team is, oh man, the two of them there. And we finished in, okay guys, we finished in 39 minutes. Is that right? 39 minutes. Next year we do it 20 minutes. Okay. Can I ask you some questions? You are a professional racer, right?
I do take part in other races, but more or less for fun. Yeah.
Did you do this for fun?
Of course.
Okay. So your name is Tan Xiang or are you Lam? Which one are you?
Jun Kiang.
Okay. Okay, Junkyang. Okay, so tell us about what you study at NTU?
Yes, of course. I'm going into my 4th year actually, and currently I'm doing my internship, which I took a half day off to do this. And actually, like the second run out, okay, I also live around here, so Balestier is kind of familiar to me, but I didn't really have the chance to go and explore. So when I saw this race online, I decided, hey, why not just join this race and find out more about this place whereby I grew up in. Because like every time I pass by Balestier, right, when I take the bus to work or to school, okay, I wouldn't really go into all these shops to check out the places. So for me, this race is actually a good learning experience.
Okay, so what was the one thing you learned today that you didn't know before?
They built Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall for his pictures.
What about you? What about the teammate? What did you learn?
Honestly, I haven't been to the Sun Yat-sen Memorial Hall before, so I didn't know inside there was an exhibition going on.
Okay.
Yeah, so when we went inside for the washroom, then we realized, oh, the place is pretty big. As in, the place is very big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not the basin.
We were expecting like just a washroom there because we saw a washroom sign. Then it leads all the way inside.
Hey, for the mistress must be glorious and luxurious. But congratulations, and both of them, by the way, have volunteered to be part of our future event, and they're gonna make the race harder for everyone. Okay, congratulations. So now can I hand to Ray? What's Ray? Okay, Ray.
Okay, so now we will do the more formal stuff. We'll do the prize giving ceremony. Is Howard back yet? Yes. Howard, you're wanted.
Yeah, we want to thank the Society of Tourist Guides for, volunteering for the race. Thank you.
The Society of Tourist Guides Singapore actually sent altogether 22 guides to be your station marshals. So you actually have experienced people directing you around. So Howard, I'll invite you on stage to give the prize to our 3rd place winner, which is Victory Ground. Can we invite them on stage? Victory Ground from Abacus. The prize means smallest ang pao. But it's cash prize of $500. Okay, and for 2nd prize, can I invite General Manager of Ramada and Days Hotel, Mr. Tony Cousins, to give the cash prize to 2nd team, Fantastic Five. Fantastic Five again from Abacus. Slightly bigger ang pao, $1,000. Cash. Okay, thank you, Mr. Cousins. Thank you, Fantastic Five, good job. These two groups actually finished the race in 45 to 50 minutes time, which is also very fast. Okay, and then for the first prize, we actually intended for Mr. Mark there, the director of the Amoy OH Home, to come and give the prize, but he has to cook for the old folks. So he sent in his place Sister Tan. Can we invite you on stage? She will be giving out the first prize to our team old men. So biggest ang pao, $1,800, cold hard cash. And then, Sister Tan, please stay on stage. Any guesses how much we raised today for Liang Boy OH Home? I heard 5,000. Any more guesses?
guess right, I have to match it. Huh? I'm very shameless, okay?
Okay, through our calculations today, including from the last week event, we have raised a total of $10,000 for the other. Well done, guys. Also, to send the donation box around again, collections are still ongoing, so please continue to contribute. And now I invite Siu Hoon and Mr. Tony Cousins.
Yeah.
We'll give a token to Sister Tan.
Yeah, and we're going to continue raising funds. You know, we have a WIT next event happening June, when is it, Jerry?
19.
June 19th, okay, at the Novotel Clarke Quay. So we're having a WIT next evening. We're going to keep raising funds for the Lee Ah Mooi Old Age Home. So thank you so much for your contribution.
Lee Ah Mooi Old Age Home, we have been in Thomson area 30 years. We got 110 patients. And I've been working there for almost 20 years after I retired from Ministry of Health.
So your donations today will go towards funding the daily expenses of the Lee Ah Mooi Old Age Home. And they also do have a few abandoned cases where they are going to, we should help them with the abandoned cases as well.
Yeah, some inspiration. I think it's been a fantastic start to a great initiative. First, I'd like to thank from my team, in addition obviously to Siu Hoon and all of the people who contributed to today's success, and obviously ultimately the donation for your elderly patients and yourself to make it better for them, a better place. But Ray has put in most of the work. I've attended a couple of coffee sessions because I know it's in good hands with Ray and with Siu Hoon, but also her support team, Stephanie and Sheena in Marcom, who's put in a lot of work to make this happen today. Now, let's not stop here. I think it's been so successful today that we should make this, I spoke to Siu Hoon before, that we should make this an annual event here at the Ramada so we can raise more funds for you. What do you think?
Next day won't be as easy.
So you've got a year to get even fitter. Now we've got an awesome personal trainer in our gym. I know because I work out every morning, or she works me out every morning at 6:30. So you're more than welcome to join me. But anyhow, we'll make it an annual event, and thank you very much. All right, thanks for your contribution.
Okay, so before we end the event, of course, we have to do our thank yous. A few organizations and people for making this event possible. Abacus, Yappo Properties Private Limited for donating. They actually have a $10 voucher from Zhongshan Mall, so that's supported by them. Info, of course, the Lee Ah Mooi Old Age Home for being here today. And then Moment Community Arts and Culture Committee, they were the ones who were responsible for sending the lion dance on stage today. National Heritage Board, Singapore Tourism Board, Society of Tourist Guides Singapore for their veteran guides, the Sun Yat-sen Nanyang Memorial Hall, Temasek Polytechnic School of Hospitality and Tourism, woo, my juniors. And then we have Travel Weekly Asia, Trust International, and last but not least, Web and Travel, which is Siu Hoon's team. Okay, and also a special mention to our youngest volunteer, Dana, our 15-year-old volunteer. Did she make it back to herself? Okay, so a great applause to yourselves as well, our speakers. Good start, all of you. I know it wasn't easy out in the hot side. Hope you enjoyed the race. And remember, like our Facebook page, Heritage Race Facebook page. Continue to hashtag so they can share the memories together. You can see what other teams were doing, what they were up to, or fun moments, pictures, and all that. All right?
Thank you.
With rice.